We pay another visit to the Northwest Suburban Conference with a pair of teams who are looking to make a splash. The Totino-Grace Eagles have already made a splash with several big wins this season, and they'll look to add another quality win to the resume against the Champlin Park Rebels. Champlin Park 1-3, Totino-Grace off to a hot start, coming off their first loss of the year, but neither team should be underestimated. Hello, everyone. I'm Mike Peden, joined by Alex Nagel. And Alex, Totino-Grace, they were primed for a postseason run last year, but a COVID outbreak ended their section hopes. This year, they started off with a big win over Benilde-St. Margaret's, followed that up with a huge win over DeLaSalle. The two-woman tandem of Leah Dengerud and Hannah Herzig is letting this Totino-Grace Eagles team soar.
Well, I tell you what, this team is really flying high, and they should be. And they're feeling really good about themselves tonight, Mike. This is a team that's hungry and has a lot to prove, and they want to make up for the disappointment from last year as well.
And Hannah Herzig in particular, her first 4 games of the season, she scored 20 points or more. When you have that kind of leadership anchoring the offense for Totino-Grace, it might seem like a surprise if you follow the preseason rankings, but Alex, they're in the top 10 in the Class 3A poll. They have a big game against Hill Murray next Tuesday. A win against Champlin Park would make for a nice prologue.
It sure would. You know, this is a game, especially for Totino-Grace, I think, Mike, for them to really make a name for themselves and get a leg up here in the Northwest Suburban Conference and really feel good about going into the holiday break as well.
Champlin Park 1-3, off to a slow start, but they've dealt with some adversity, including an ankle sprain to Ava Holman in the early part of the season. That being said, Alex, this Rebels team, one of the quickest in 4A when you look at their backcourt. Ava Holman, Alicia Bates, Mikaelah Counce, Nicole Lillard. This Champlin Park team, we'll see what the rest of the season brings, but one thing's for sure, they're going to come at you with a lot of speed.
Well, I tell you what, hopes are higher on the north side of Brooklyn Park as well with this Champlin Park team, Mike. I watched this team play back at the Hopkins Breakdown here a couple weekends ago, and I tell you what, this team is really quick. They're really good at getting into the passing lanes and really good at causing disruption in the half court.
Mikaelah Counce leading the team in scoring at about 20 points per game, so keep an eye out for her on offense. Ava Holman was off to a fast start against Armstrong. Early foul trouble limited her to 11 points. But this Champlin Park team, they hope to zoom by Totino-Grace and get back on the winning side. We'll see what happens when we return. This is high school girls basketball.
Twin Cities Sports Broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves.
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
Game winners.
James, she's in trouble. Finds James. Toss shot! It goes in!
And everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. Let's put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Mike Peden and Mr. Mayak, Alex Nagel, rejoining you at Champlin Park High School, located in the city of Champlin. Totino-Grace at 1, or I should say Champlin Park at 1-3. Totino-Grace 5-1. Their one loss came against Blaine. They beat Anoka on Tuesday, and Hannah Herzig was a game-time decision. She hurt her wrist in the Anoka game. Mary Dengerud, the head coach, wanted to wait until tonight to see how she was feeling. Hannah says, I'm ready to go, so she'll be in the lineup tonight, and her 24.2 points per game will be a welcome anchor for the Eagles.
I think it's going to be really important, Mike, for this Champlin Park team to get off to a good start here tonight. Cause as much disruption and havoc with Totino-Grace in the half court as they can, take them out of the rhythm, and hopefully capitalize on that.
Champlin Park with a new head coach this year in Arthur Crutch, I believe his first year with the Rebels. And again, they have some new components. Ava Holman, who is working her way back. She hasn't missed a whole lot of time due to the ankle injury, but she's averaging close to 10 a game. Mikaelah Counce 20 per game. Mikaelah going to Livingstone next year to play college basketball. Alicia Bates will head to Briar Cliff. As we look at the starting five for Totino-Grace, Leah Dengerud, by the way, is going to Concordia-St. Paul. She's averaging 15.2 a game. Dengerud started her varsity career at DeLaSalle, winning a state title with the Islanders before making the move to Totino-Grace. And now we'll introduce the Rebels of Champlin Park. Champlin Park in Section 5 4A. We saw the favorite of that group, Maple Grove, on Tuesday. Maple Grove and Champlin Park in the same division in the Northwest Suburban, so those two will get a rematch later in the season. Not necessarily any superstars in the lineup, Alex, but again, a very quick front five. Let's go over the starting lineups one more time. For Totino-Grace, it's Leah Dengerud, number 3, Grace Pavacek, number 4, Hannah Herzig, number 11, number 14, Ava Regal, and number 35, Caroline Schlafer. For Champlin Park, they will start Nicole Lillard, number 1, Ava Holman, number 21, Mikaelah Counce, number 22, Izzy John, number 24, and Alicia Bates, number 32. And Alex, we got the announcement that it's Arthur Crutch's birthday. I'm still younger than he is. You probably wish you were that young.
Yeah, well, absolutely. Especially when I get on the tennis court. I tell you what, I think it's going to be really important for Mikaelah Counce as well to really take charge in this game tonight if Champlin Park is to have the best chance to win. She's a dynamic player, and she can really cause a lot of problems for this Totino-Grace team.
And again, they have a lot of speed. Not necessarily a superstar in the lineup, but they can outrun you. A few 43 hoops players. Izzy John with the Metro Stars, I believe. Nicole Lillard from North Tartan, all playing on B teams, but their contributions are vital. We are underway, and Alicia Bates lost her grip. Alicia Bates, the younger sister of Ashley Bates, who you might recall had a fine career at Hopkins.
Oh, yeah.
And would become Big South Player of the Year a couple years ago at Hampton.
Yep.
And Totino-Grace, again, they thought they could have made a splash in the Section 4 3A playoffs. The COVID outbreak ended their season. Mary Dengerud told me one of her players didn't want to believe the line she said. That's Mikaelah Counce with the steal. Holman through traffic. Speeds away to the rim. Foul on the floor.
Well, and there you get a real good look at what Champlin Park really likes to do on defense. They like to gang up on you, cause those turnovers, and get a fast break opportunity out of it.
And Ava Holman, she has a lot of speed and agility. I got to cover her at a session in the fall exclusive that was hosted by Junior All-Star and Prep Girls Hoops. Her first step and ability to blow by opponents gave her a bevy of layups in the session I covered, but Champlin Park turns it over again. Totino-Grace on the run, and Leah Dengerud with the first bucket of the game.
Who else? Leah Dengerud with that one.
Lillard. Tough drive against number 11, Hannah Herzig. Hannah, the 6-foot wing and the leading scorer for the Eagles. Champlin Park doesn't have a ton of size out there. Mikaelah Counce, side fade, long two, swish. That ball poked away by Champlin Park. It will stay Totino-Grace ball. And Alex, as you know, the Eagles usually get a tough assignment every year in conference play. They're the only 3A school in the Northwest Suburban field.
Yeah. But I think they're ready to handle that.
Izzy John cutting off Herzig. Counce pulls up from 14, swish.
We get an early view of how Mikaelah Counce can take over a ball game.
And there she is again. You see how quick she is on the defensive end.
Yeah.
I talked to her mother yesterday briefly, and Sally said Mikaelah becoming a pest, a gnat, a mosquito, as my friend Latoya Turk likes to use. A mosquito on defense. Ava Holman for three. Off the back iron. Dead ball rebound to Champlin Park. 16:03 left in the first half. 4-2 in favor of the Rebels. It's early, though. And as we noted, Totino-Grace, they get a big matchup with Hill Murray on Tuesday. That will very likely determine the 1 seed in that section. I'll be at Totino-Grace to cover that one. Baseline jumper does not drop for the Eagles. And the rebound rolls over to Alicia Bates, who is grabbed by Herzig. That will be a reach and foul on number 11.
You notice that Hannah Herzig has that little wrapping, that little pad on her right wrist.
Again, she hurt her wrist in the win over Anoka. She was a game-time decision. Wanted to give warm-ups a try. When I talked to Mary Dengerud, she said, we'll see how she's doing. Hannah felt she was well enough to play, and we'll see how she handles herself out there. Oh, nice cut, and a nice block by Dengerud. Dengerud launches the three.
Oh,
bullseye.
I tell you what, saying no on one end and dropping the dagger on the other.
And that is a turnover. Itoro Ituko made the deflection. Ava Holman couldn't keep it in bounds, so Ituko won't get credit for the steal, but she does cause the turnover. Again, it's still early. And you were talking, Alex, about Totino-Grace ready to show their might in the Northwest Suburban. They already have a win over Anoka. They lost a close one to Blaine, but the Bengals, they're having a strong start to their season.
Yep.
One of the pleasant surprises. We saw Rogers on Tuesday. I don't know how Totino-Grace will fare in conference play, but I do think as Hannah Herzig gets the floater to fall, I do believe you. This is a group that will win some games and at least make a run at that conference title.
Yep.
Champlin Park, that was last touched by Totino-Grace, so the Rebels catch a break.
And you saw on the other end, Hannah Herzig not bothered at all by that wrist with a deft touch. And the easy basket on the other end.
Bates, stutter step to the lane for two. Alicia Bates, small but speedy. She was a defensive pest for her 43 Hoops AAU team, coached by Olivia Antilla. And a pesky play by Alicia gives us a 7-7 tie. Totino-Grace loses the ball. Ava Regal couldn't hang on to it. Holman inside to John, but John didn't have the best angle underneath. Lillard bringing some pressure on Dengerud near half court. Herzig faking the three. Almost walked. Regal sees a lane and will draw the foul. .58 left in the first half. All sevens. Dengerud, the fake. Tries to go up against Bates. Holman. And nowhere to go. We've got a scramble for the ball. John wins the scrum and draws the foul. And depending on who that is, oh, that's a big one, Alex. That's the second on Herzig.
Yeah, decision time here now. And she's gonna...
It was a quick one right away. She goes out in place of Abby Lord, so a big opportunity for the Rebels.
Yeah, Mary Dengerud not taking any chances.
The Rebels with a big chance to help their cause. Counce cuts to the bucket and will have to settle for free throws.
And right there, you get an idea of how explosive Mikaelah Counce can be.
Mikaelah Counce likes to hike when she visits her family in Arizona, also a member of the Fellowship of Christian Athletes. And before the game, she gave the Minnesota State High School League statement. And the public address announcer noting her journalism aspirations. Mikaelah Counce plans to major in communications at Livingstone, a Division II HBCU. Splits at the line. Champlin Park leads 8-7. Dengerud pulls up. And that will be a dead ball rebound to the Rebels with 13:29 left in the first half.
Well, let's see now with Hannah Herzig on the bench how that affects Totino-Grace with their half-court offense.
Herzig, the leading scorer for Totino-Grace. Again, 4 20-point games to start the season. Counce. Some fancy footwork, gets her own rebound.
Just great hustle by Mikaelah Counce on that.
John too far underneath, but Lillard banks in the three. I should rephrase that. She didn't bank in the three. She got the Plinko bounce. Lillard called for the foul on the other end. Alex, you don't see too many threes bounce in like that.
No, that was different, I have to admit.
Regal lost it. Bates picks it up one-on-one. Tough angle. Dead ball rebound to Totino-Grace. 12:44 in the first half. Champlin Park looking for the steal. Alex, I've noticed Nicole Lillard a couple of times leaks out, tries to get some pressure. Totino-Grace hoping to dial up some pressure on offense as Caroline Schlafer sinks the three.
Big three by Schlafer there. Totino-Grace needed that.
I don't expect Herzig to play a whole lot in this first half, so any production they can get elsewhere is welcome. Ava Holman.
And you know, the funny thing of it is,
Go ahead.
You wouldn't think of Schlafer being a three-point threat necessarily, but she sure delivered on that one.
Well, she does average 7.8 points per game, so it's not like she's offensively challenged. A lot of attention, of course, going to Herzig and Dengerud, but Lord, 8.5 points, Schlafer, 7.8 points per game. They have some other playmakers. And they have a chance to take the lead. Regal, side fade, baseline jumper, does not drop. Rebels catch a break. Bates with the long skip to Holman. And she will sink the open jumper. Alex, not unlike football, Atuko made a move to try to go for the steal and mistimed it. It's not unlike what we saw Travis Kelce do a couple nights ago.
Yeah, no kidding.
Defender made a move. He was wide open. Ava Holman was wide open and gets on the board. And that is a traveling violation on number 24, Abby Lord. And we're going to get Natalie Wara, number 10. in the game for Champlin Park. Ituko went for another steal. Ava Holman can't make her pay that time, but Ituko, Alex, I think she's got to be a little more mindful about going for the steal. I can appreciate the hustle there, but that's the second time she went too early and left her defender open.
Yep.
You've got to be mindful when you make that move. And I know it's easy to say up here, we're not down there, but you run that risk. If you can't time it right, you give your defender a wide open shot.
Yep.
Mikaelah Counce bringing the pressure on defense, pokes it away, and she's fouled from behind. And Bonnie will scoop up the ball, or Robin. Bonnie's over here, Robin's down there.
Boy, Mikaelah Counce did a nice little behind-the-back pass. Kind of got tied up kind of awkwardly and came down awkwardly too, but she's okay.
Last foul to give for the Eagles, so the Rebels will get free throws for the rest of the half. Lillard had some trouble there. Ava Holman, ooh, right idea, but Nicole Lillard cut a little too far out. Ituko has her fast break play denied by Bates.
Great defensive play by Alicia Bates there.
That is what she's known for. And another substitution, Ashley Mell. She'll give Mikaelah Counce a breather.
And a well-deserved one at that.
Lillard, the steal, and missed the run out. That's a tough break for the Rebels.
You know, you were just talking a bit earlier about how that style of play can be a kind of a high-risk, high-reward kind of thing. You're seeing it on full display right now.
Well, in the case of Champlin Park, Lillard got the steal but just didn't finish, and those are the buckets you really want to have. Ituko is bumped, and she will shoot two. Ituko averaging 7.5 points per game this season. The 5'5" sophomore guard. First trip to the line, and Mikaelah Counce going back in right away in place of Alicia Bates. 10-11 to go in the first half. Ituko with a split. Counce to Lillard. Sees a lane, attacks, and will have a chance to get some free throws out of it. Nicole Lillard averaging 7.8 points per game.
Just a junior, but, you know, she's going to loom large for this Rebel team.
Considers herself a long athletic guard. And Ava Holman will take a breather. Izzy John will go back in. Lillard missing both free throws. A foul is called on Champlin Park. And that's the second on Lillard, so Ava Holman is going to go back in. Alex, the Champlin Park guards, well, Lillard's probably going to take a break here with two fouls, but the rest of them, they haven't sat for very long. And remember, Holman is dealing with the after effects of a sprained ankle, which she suffered against Prior Lake at the Tip-Off Classic. Tuco almost had the steal, ran out of space. You're not going to falter for that, of course. We have a choppy pace to this one, Alex. 13-11.
Yeah, it's trying to get a feel for it, and it's kind of hard.
Both teams show glimpses, but no string of positive plays, but that will help. Holman with the dime, Wara with the bucket. And Champlin Park, I believe this is their largest lead of the game, 15-11.
I tell you, one stat that always gets overlooked are those bench points. And Warwick contributed.
Well, not if you're Maple Grove.
Right, right.
At least in Tuesday's game. Maple Grove, though, they had to sweat one out with Elk River last night, winning in overtime.
I told you that was going to be a close game.
It was. Closer than I expected, given Elk River's slow start to the season. And now Mikaelah Counce is tagged with a foul. And now both teams out of fouls to give with 9 to go in the first half.
Right at the midway point, too. Dengerud ran out of real estate there on that one.
Turnover on the Eagles. It's been a slow crawl. Mel trying to go around the screen set by John. Tough pass there. And a reach-in foul is called. That's on Counce her second. Alex, the officials are being mindful of the reach-ins tonight, and that's going to be free throws for Ava Regal.
Yep. And that takes a big, big chunk out of that Champlin Park offense, with Counce having to go to the bench.
And Hannah Herzig, remember, she picked up 2 quick ones. So both teams dealing with some adversity here as Regal gets on the board. Regal averaging 4.6 points per game. She's a 5'5" sophomore. And there's still a long way to go. Timeout is called. 8:35 left. But Alex, again, a long way to go. But I was about to say, maybe this game comes down to free throws given the flow so far.
Yeah, it's the way it's going right now. It kind of makes you think in that direction. You know, I think if I'm Arthur Crutch right now, I want to see a little more consistency out of my half-court offense. I want to see cleaner, sharper passes. I want to see fewer turnovers. You know, especially when you don't have a lot of size when you're Champlin Park, you got to make those passes accurate. You can't afford those lazy passes because they're going to get stolen, taken away very easily.
15-13 the score. And both sides have to manage some fouling here. Interesting decision. Leah Dengerud putting Hannah Herzig back in. Remember, she has 2.
Right.
Interesting move here with 8:35 to go. So Herzig, we'll see how careful she can be. And remember, both teams in the bonus. Holman reverses direction. But number 35, Schlafer, wasn't fooled one bit. Jump ball, Totino-Grace with the arrow. 8:14 to go in the first half. Herzig, side fade, tries to bounce it. Champlin Park deflects it away. Interesting move there. I thought Herzig was open for a minute for 3, but tried to go inside. Herzig with position, but she can't get the layup to fall. Holman fires the 3. Rebound Eagles. Herzig with numbers. Holman with the poke and the steal. And right away, she's fouled by Atuco. Ava Holman just casually swiped that ball out.
Yeah, I tell you, Champlin Park's so good at that. They just, it's hard when you play them because it's, in the half-court offense especially, it's just so hard to establish any rhythm when they're constantly getting in the passing lanes and causing problems for you.
That's the second foul on Atuco. Holman missing the front end, so Champlin Park empty on that possession, 15-13. Pull up no good from Regal. Herzig with the side fade and the entry feed to Schlafer for 2. And that ties the game at 15. High-low play to John. It will be Champlin Park ball, but Alex, you know this. It's awfully, awfully tough when you try to set up a high-low play against a double team down low.
Yep, that really is. That was, you knew that was going to be trouble from the get-go.
Holman for 3. Off the mark. Herzig with the rebound. She's got a full head of steam. And she'll draw the foul on Natalie Wara. She'll go to the line for 2.
And, you know, conversely, I think being that it's so difficult for Champlin Park to do that, then you become a little too reliant on the 3, as we saw right there.
Hannah Herzig, 24.2 points per game. Here's a short list of the activities she has participated in over the years: soccer, volleyball, gymnastics, swimming, and dance.
That's better than me.
At Totino-Grace, she focuses on basketball, tennis, and the National Honor Society. Splits at the line, but that does give the Eagles the lead. 3 ball, and unable to hit from the corner was Ashley Mell. Totino-Grace looking to pad their lead. Champlin Park running into a field goal drought here. Regal, 3 ball. No good. Bologna with the rebound. Herzig to the rim. Again comes up short. And Champlin Park, several of their reserve players on the floor right now. Deflected by Dengerud. 16-15 is the score. Champlin Park picking up their first one of the season earlier this week against Robbinsdale Armstrong, a group that has Savannah McGowan, one of the top posts in her class. Jump ball, Champlin Park with the arrow. 5:42 remains in the first half. (16-15).
Well, Mikaelah Counce is about ready to check back in for Champlin Park, and here she comes.
And right away, Counce makes a contribution, feeding it to Lillard on the inbound, and Lillard hits the elbow J. Totino-Grace looking for the answer. Dengerud saves it. Herzig finishes it. Remember, Counce has 2 fouls, Lillard has 2 fouls, and Bates has 2 fouls. So this will be a test of wits and patience. And Lillard called for the push as Dengerud timed the pass. No, the foul was on Dengerud. I thought it was going to be on Lillard.
That's what I was thinking
my
too.
My guess is the officials
talked
concluded
about
that
it.
Lillard had the position first.
Yeah.
That may have been one of those 50-50 balls, Alex, where Lillard just happened to be there, had the position a split second sooner. That's a break, though, for Lillard, because had that gone the other way, that would have been her third.
Yeah.
And she calmly swishes those free throws. 19-18. Now we've got a little back and forth taking place here at Champlin Park after the two sides were stuck for a while. Here comes Herzig. Jaden Spann with the steal. Lillard. No good, and that's a foul on Spann. Lost her footing, collided with Atuko, and Atuko's going to go to the line for a 1-and-1. 4:40 to go in the first half.
And you saw Herzig there on both ends being very careful, being very mindful that she's carrying those two fouls.
Atuko split her last time up, and will leave that possession empty. Here comes Counce. Looking for Holman, and they couldn't hook up. You don't see too many games with this kind of flow, Alex, where Champlin Park, it seems like they're struggling to get those half-court sets in. Totino-Grace.
Yeah.
They've missed a couple of fast break plays and some inside looks. Whoever can find their footing first could pull away with this. But remember, Totino-Grace, one of the top teams in 3A. A couple of big wins to start the season. Offensive rebound for the Eagles after Lord came up short, and that allows Dengerud to drain the elbow J. Leah Dengerud with 7. Lillard draws the blocking foul on Dengerud.
Wow. You know, I kind of held my breath on that one.
I thought Dengerud might have had the stop there,
but no, that's 2 on her now.
I don't know if Dengerud's forward momentum carried her into Lillard. That would be my guess. It was tough to tell from here. That's the second on Dengerud. That being said, free throws have been a bit spotty for both teams, so this game with an unpredictable nature to it, Lillard missing both that time. Champlin Park just 4 of 10 from the free throw line. Totino-Grace 4 of 7. Atuko for 3 off the back iron. And this crawl continues with 3:50 to go in the first half. The largest lead for either side has been 4. Dengerud in trouble. Here's Regal. More trouble for the Eagles, but another bailout. Dengerud can't hit the jumper. Lillard to Holman. Yes! Champlin Park retakes the lead, 21-20. Regal, bounce pass to Lord. Finds a cutting Dengerud. She pulls up, can't get the bounce. Counce in trouble. And nobody there to help for Champlin Park, so an easy bucket for Abby Lord. I think Counce took that personally. I think Counce took that personally.
And I tell you what.
Like, I'm going to drive on you there.
You see that takeover ability from Mikaelah Counce.
She got the poke from behind. Holman debates. No good. Ava Holman is there to clean it up. That will be enough. for a timeout. Alex, I think that awoke Champlin Park. Mikaelah Counce struggled on that rebound, had no one to help her, gave up the easy two, and Champlin Park responds with a couple of scores.
Well, I tell you what, I think that was a calculated risk on Arthur Crutch's part, inserting Mikaelah Counce back into the game with those 2 fouls. But you see the spark that she brings. The offense just seems to work better with her around out there directing the activity, and it's paid off thus far for Champlin Park.
Ava Holman, who scored the last bucket for the Rebels, likes dogs, and her favorite color is green. And if you're a longtime basketball fan, you may have seen some of the training videos that Ava Holman puts on her social media channels. Ava is fully committed to getting a career in basketball. I talked with her mother beforehand, and she said she wouldn't mind if Ava pursued something else in college, but she's behind her daughter 100%. And Ava Holman getting some looks. I'm sure she'll get a few more. And a little more on Ava's story as Totino-Grace turns it over. You may not have heard about her all that much because the last couple of years she played for Osseo, a team that I think has managed just 2 wins each of the last 2 seasons. So hard to get your name out there in that circumstance.
Kind of a careless turnover on the other end by Totino-Grace.
And certainly not what you want on an ATO.
No.
But Champlin Park struggles, and Totino-Grace will get the ball back on the arrow. 2:05 to go in the first half. And Counce will go to the bench. This may be a defense to offense substitution with Counce having 2 fouls. And Crutch trying to manage his top players until the second frame. Herzig also on the bench for the Eagles. Atuka with 2 fouls. 3 on the way. No good. Ava Holman gets the rebound. Changes speeds. Fires the 3. No good there. And we're back to... We have a double dribble call. I think what happened there with the Atuka, it took me a minute to realize that she had the ball, lost her grip, retrieved it, but because she already brought the ball up, that counted as a dribble.
Yep.
So Atuka losing track. That leads to a turnover. So if you're wondering why that was a double dribble, in the eyes of the officials, no one else had possession. Span. Pass is tipped, and she bumps Totino-Grace. Alex, this one looked like Champlin Park would go on a run. Now we're back to this wild and wacky pace where you have no idea what will happen.
That's about the best way I've heard this put tonight, Mike. It really
There's
is.
no way to know. You could get a bucket. You could not score. This is Grace Spivacek. She'll get 2 free throws here as Span picks up her second. Both teams in the double bonus now.
Yeah, even free throws have been a hard road to hoe tonight for both squads.
This is certainly a different pace than what we saw on Tuesday with Rogers and Maple Grove.
Oh, absolutely.
But you never know what you're going to get with these kind of basketball games. Spivacek splits at the line. Totino-Grace 5 of 9, Champlin Park 4 of 10, so neither side making the other pay at the line. 3 ball, in and out. Less than a minute to go. And that's Mikaelah Counce with the rebound. That doesn't fall. Atuka, deep 3 from the corner is offline. And Alex, if depth is something that will factor into this game, the Rebels, again, fouling has something to do with it, but they've put in 11 players on the floor. Totino-Grace, just 7 in this first half.
You know, here's the deal. You're up by 2 if you're Champlin Park. You just lost the ball, but...
Well, throw that strategy out the window. 34.3 on the clock. And given the foul situation to Counce in particular, and Bates and Lillard, I think if you're Arthur Crutch just surviving to the first half, That might be a stretch, though. Champlin Park, they've had some plays in there, but I think at this point, just get through to the second half and regroup from there. And another foul, so Regal will go to the line and potentially could tie this up.
Regal, the 5'5" sophomore.
Regal made her last 2 free throws. And she misses these 2. So that gives the Rebels a 2-point lead. Holman.
Oh,
Wow. I wasn't sure what she wanted to go. She just threw it up. Well, Ava Holman had me fooled. And the Rebels might have a chance to add more. I don't know. Can they get it off in time? Holman up. Well, not for lack of trying. Ava Holman making some plays to close out the first half. And Champlin Park leads 27-23. It wasn't pretty, Alex, but Ava Holman, as the game went on, started to make a series of plays, including that last one.
Yeah.
I have no idea how she threw it up. She's got a lot of confidence in her pull-up ability. That's all I can say.
yeah, that's what it sure seemed like. I think both sides could probably make an argument that this has been a first half that's been arguably somewhat hard to put your arms around, but at the same time, you do see signs where they can do some things. It's just I think it's going to boil down to, Mike, is which team can be more consistent in the second half and make free throws.
A long way to go, and we'll try to put our arms around the second half when we return. This is high school girls basketball.
Twin Cities sports broadcasting, and a whole lot more. That's what you get from TSB Television. We provide long-lasting digital coverage of your favorite athletes from the preps to the pros. Dazzling moves,
Holloman, good if it goes. Yes!
game winners,
From James, she's in trouble. Finds James, toss shot, it goes in!
and everything in between.
Before we let you go, do you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, I don't know. That put me on the spot there.
If you want to connect with our audience, visit us at patreon.com/TSB Television or sponsor our coverage through PayPal and Cash App. Thank you for watching.
Mike Peden and Alex Nagel back with you as we return from our time warp in 1990 based on the music. Champlin Park leads Totino-Grace 27-23 as we get ready to start the second half. Ava Holman, the leading scorer, with 8 points for the Rebels. Lillard was 7, and Counce was 7. The Eagles, led by Dengerud, with 7. Herzig and Schlafer with 5 each. Alex, second half. Let's see if Champlin Park can build a run here. It looks like they have the pieces. Dengerud goes for the steal. And Counce with a step-back 3.
Ooh.
That doesn't go in. There's a name we haven't called much, Izzy John. She got the rebound and gives Champlin Park a fresh possession. 3 ball. Holman can't hit from the corner. I think Champlin Park, they're primed for a run here, Alex. From what we've seen out of their guards, Ava Holman had a strong finish to end the first half.
Well, I
And
tell
they
you
get
what,
some
if that 3 by Mikaelah Counce would have fallen, that would have been a great start to that said run.
Totino-Grace will inbound it, 17:20 to go. The Eagles 5-1. Champlin Park looking for their second straight win after losing their first 3 games. Dengerud for 3. Short. And Lillard with the rebound. Bates with the accelerator. And that almost went in.
I tell you what, she really knows when to step on the gas pedal.
She would leave me in the dust. Ava Holman with the steal. One-on-one with Herzig.
I tell you what, as this game progresses, Mike, I'm beginning to like Ava Holman a lot more.
I was first alerted to Holman a couple years ago when she got some varsity time as an 8th grader at Osseo from our fellow basketball friend LaToya Turk. Actually, LaToya is responsible for connecting me with the Holmans. Everything that has happened since then is all LaToya's fault. Ava Holman puts in a tremendous amount of work to become a great basketball player. Izzy John, she has struggled down low, Alex. She's doing a great job on the boards. Double dribble call on Totino-Grace.
Yeah, it's just been so odd tonight. Leah Dengerud just has not been able to get on track and just get her game going.
Dengerud with 7 points, but you're right. She's struggling. Hannah Herzig, remember, her minutes were limited with foul trouble.
Yep.
So the 2 playmakers for Totino-Grace not syncing up the way they would like. Lillard for 3, short. John with another rebound. That's something they missed in the first half. Lillard, no good again. Holman for 3. Everyone having a hard time finding the bucket. But Ava Holman not having a hard time defensively.
I tell you, what a great save on Mikaelah Counce.
And how about Ava Holman with a couple of stops on defense? And now she gets the rebound.
Well, somebody take a lid off of that basket. My goodness.
That rim is sealed shut. A lot of second chances for the Rebels and nothing to show for it.
No, I think Holman might have taken a shot in the midsection. The way she was kind of crouching down there for a second.
That won't sit well with her mother. You know, they already were holding their breath when she sprained her ankle to start the game with Briar Lake. Missed the game with Maple Grove as a result, and who knows what would have happened had Ava been able to play. Maple Grove won that one convincingly.
And Totino-Grace continuing to struggle with her half-court offense.
And we're going to get a timeout to sort this out. Alex, you said the first half was hard to put your arm around it. So far, we're getting exactly the same in the second half. I have no idea what's going to happen.
Well, I think Mary Dengerud wants to get her squad settled down and just, try and get some more consistency with her half-court offense.
Well, Champlin Park, looking ahead, they will take part in a holiday invitational at St. Benedict. Lakeville South and Duluth East are their opponents. Their toughest game outside the conference, I would argue, Eden Prairie, January 8th.
Yeah.
Eden Prairie, you saw them, of course, earlier this month. I'll be seeing them tomorrow with Eastridge. The Eagles, they look really good, and the way their defense wears down opponents, that's going to be a tough out for Champlin Park.
Yep.
They're going to have to be more efficient on offense when they get to Eden Prairie, but that won't be for a few weeks. Izzy John on the high-low, and she draws the foul. Even though Izzy John hasn't scored, she's getting a few more rebounds this half, Alex, and Champlin Park trying to establish an interior game for the senior center.
And John made the fundamental mistake of bringing the ball down when she should have kept the ball up.
Holman to Counce. Spin move. Lillard. No good. What is going on, Alex?
I'm still trying to figure that one out myself.
Champlin Park gets another stop on defense.
And I think head coach Mary Dengerud is as well.
Well, here's the thing, Champlin Park, how many second chance opportunities have they had?
I don't
know. And they've
know.
struggled to convert. They lead by 5, but if this game comes down to the wire, they're going to look back on that. We'll see what happens, though. Bates, too far underneath, but she drew the foul.
I think that's going to go on Eva Regal.
No, that's going to be on Atuko, her third.
Her third as well.
So Bates to shoot 2. Averaging just under 5 points per game this season.
Well, back in comes Hannah Herzig. And also reserve junior Kayla Turhar.
Bates had a 3-point play.
And, in a 7-point lead that Champlin Park has now. It doesn't seem so big at first glance, but the way things have been going for Totino-Grace, that lead is a lot larger than what it is.
Riegel gets the offensive rebound, goes up, and now Totino-Grace getting a couple of chances here. Dengerud struggling to find her shot, and now it's Totino-Grace's turn to have issues with second chance buckets. Holman fakes the three. And that will be Champlin Park ball, 14:36 to go. Seven-point margin. Holman looking for an opening. Walked into no woman's land there. Herzig draws a foul. Was that in the act of shooting? It appears so. And so Hannah, no, it wasn't. I thought it was on the floor, or at least from up here.
Yeah.
Bates will go out because I believe she just picked up her third. Mikaelah Counce almost didn't get back in time. Turnaround. Mikaelah Counce swiped it away from Dengerud. Totino-Grace with the arrow, but Alex,
Well,
I am perplexed, flabbergasted at how hard it's been for either side to get buckets down low or second chance points.
well, particularly for Totino-Grace, you know, we were talking at the outset about how hard this Champlin Park team can make things for you with their defense, and it's been a devil of a time for Totino-Grace.
That could help, though, a chance to get some points at the line. Although Riegel missed her last two. This game, Alex, though, is a reminder that there are no certainties in this sport because Totino-Grace, they started their season with a huge win over Benilde-St. Margaret. It's a team everyone thought would be a contender and still could. And then they followed up with a win over DeLaSalle, a team that isn't as strong as they used to be, but they still have some playmakers in Savannah White and Cindy Runsway.
Right.
So you have two huge wins. I should point out that they also picked up a pair in the Twin Cities tip-off against Stewartville and Cretin-Durham Hall, but you get two statement wins against two perennial contenders. Benilde-St. Margaret's with a history, DeLaSalle with a history. BSM working their way up, but that team has Olivia Olson on it. DeLaSalle, they had a solid group. Their season came to an end due to the pandemic.
You know, the interesting thing is
now what?
Both of these teams, you know, have players both playing in the MIAC these days. Former Totino-Grace Eagle Bree Glenn now plays with St. Kate's, and Issy Quick, who played at high school ball here at Champlin Park, now plays at Gustavus.
We have an officials timeout with 13:50 to go. And I think it looks like it could be over a foul discrepancy. I see Arthur Crutch over at the scores table. And now he's having a discussion with the officials. Alex, I don't know what else we can see tonight, but it's rare to get an officials timeout as we work out this
And I don't know if they're talking about, like you were saying, a foul maybe, but I'm not 100%.
I think it's a foul tabulation. Who has what?
You know, you had mentioned also, Mike, at the outset about Totino-Grace back in 2007 winning their first state title. 2007, oddly enough, is the year that Champlin Park was in the state tournament as well, led by coached by head coach Carl Pearson.
That was their last appearance.
Natalie Gegler was one of the top players on that team. Lost in the semifinals, I believe, to Minneapolis South.
Well, while we wait to resume action, okay, I think we will. I was going to share a couple more facts. Izzy John, who has been doing well as far as rebounds are concerned, a two-sport athlete, track and basketball. There's Alicia Bates, who puts on the accelerator, loses the ball. Izzy John, also a member of National Honor Society and the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, and she wears a size 14 shoe. I do not.
No.
I'm a little bit smaller. Counce with the deflection. Dengerud. Again, Alex. Dengerud unable to find her stroke.
Yep.
Held to 7 points thus far. Mikaelah Counce loses the ball.
Been a little bit of a struggle for her tonight at times.
I am out of descriptors for this game.
What? You? Never.
Tony would have a shocked look on his face if he were here. But this has just been such a bizarre game.
I know.
Lillard got the block on Dengerud. And both of these teams have talent, so this is not to say as John gets the block on Dengerud here. Herzig comes up with it, and Totino-Grace finally scores.
Well, let's see if that last score by Herzig sparks something for this Totino-Grace team, desperately looking for some sort of rhythm, some sort of consistency.
What makes this game so bizarre is how hard both sides have to work just to get a field goal, and Mikaelah Counce makes it look easy as she goes baseline.
The thing with this, they've got to, on the other end, they've got to worry about Mikaelah Counce doing things like that.
Now, this game has been weird in the sense that both sides, it feels like they have to put a bunch of sweat equity in just to get a scoring play. And Totino-Grace, again, they have a lot of talent. They have a couple of big wins. They beat DeLaSalle by 23. They beat a Benilde-St. Margaret's team with perhaps the best player in the sophomore class. And Dengerud will go to the line. Maybe she can pick up some points there.
Well, a chance now for Totino-Grace to crawl back to within a single possession. It's arguably been a struggle for them to do so. But here's a big chance right here at the 12:08 mark of this second half.
Leah Dengerud averaging 15.2 points per game. She has 2 pet cats. Also competes in track and is a member of the National Honor Society and the LaSallian Student Ministry. She will play at Concordia-St. Paul next year, joining some fellow Minnesota standouts, Kayla Ty from Big Lake and the all-time leading scorer at Mounds View, Lindsay Becker. Counce had nowhere to go, pulls up.
Yep, and she's going to get
that's going to be her third.
Yep.
The officials are going to take you with that almost every time if you reach over, and especially if you make contact, but reaching over, that carries so much risk on defense. So Bates with 3 fouls, Counce with 3 fouls. Herzig has 3 fouls for Totino-Grace. They can tie it up here on this 3. That won't happen. Bates. Champlin Park will reset it. Bates missing the 3. And Lillard stepped on the line before she retrieved the ball.
Champlin Park coming up empty now in their last couple of possessions, keeping the door open for this Totino-Grace team.
Timeout, Totino-Grace. They'll have 3 remaining.
A smart timeout, I think, here, Mike, by Mary Dengerud to get her squad settled down, refocus, explain to them what they need to do. You're only down 3 points. You're right where you want to be. You're back in this ball game. This is a chance for them, perhaps, to make their big move here.
32-29 the score. Champlin Park looking for their second straight win after losing their first 3 games of the year. Totino-Grace hoping to start a new win streak. And when you look at the makeup of their team, Mary said they had a great nucleus returning. Dengerud, Herzig, She expected Spivacek would be a leader among the returning players. Herzig and Dengerud, they put up some big numbers last season for the Eagles, 17.9, 15.1 points respectively. Both chipped in about 6 rebounds a game. And I'm a little surprised to see them slog through like they have. Of course, there's plenty of time, and they're only down 3, so that is the saving grace for Totino-Grace. When you're struggling like this, all it takes are a couple of good plays, and you can find yourself in front. And another thing I mention, Alex, all the time, the hallmark of a contender, how do you handle the ugly games? This is an ugly game. Neither side able to get much consistency going offensively. Lillard has struggled somewhat, and now Totino-Grace has a chance to score in the fast break, and they will.
Just like that, a 1-point game.
32-31. Span had trouble handling the pass from Holman. Tries to force the jump, and she will. 32-31, and Champlin Park with the arrow. But Alex, Champlin Park, you get the sense that they are having a hard time with the circumstances here. Counce couldn't get around Dengerud, and Totino-Grace has a chance to take the lead. Mishandled pass, Holman with the steal. Lillard shakes off her coverage and comes up short again. No, good from Counce. Now Holman has it.
Oh
my goodness, Alex.
So many empty possessions for Champlin Park. Chances galore, and they can't cash in on any of them right now.
How frustrating is it? Lillard is going to take a breather. That has got to be frustrating. I know Lillard has had a few opportunities. But it can just wear at your confidence, too, because you start to wonder, will I get a fast break play to go in? I know you got to shake it off and think next play. But if Champlin Park can't win this game, they're going to look back on that. Dengerud gets her own rebound. Long 2. And now Totino-Grace getting some second chances, but Izzy John comes up with a big block. Holman will reset. Mikaelah Counce, deep 3. I'm not sure you want to take that shot in that situation. Herzig through traffic.
Ooh.
Dengerud can't put it in. Here's Mikaelah Counce. Atuko with the block. Dengerud for 3. Got it!
Well, I tell you what, if you might be looking for a turning point in this ball game, look at the 8:56 mark with that 3-point from Dengerud.
That could very well be. Again, Champlin Park with a boatload of chances to score on second chance opportunities. And they couldn't put it in. .8:30 to go. Totino-Grace or I should say Champlin Park in the midst of a lengthy scoring drought.
Well, you know, it's interesting, Mike. We saw, or we thought we saw anyway, Champlin Park get a little bit of a spark there in the early going of the second half, but that seems to have died out.
The Rebels trail by 2. The question is, who's going to step up? I'm seeing a lot of forced shots from Champlin Park as of late. But they get in there for the deflection. And John, I'll tell you what, Alex, Izzy John doing an impressive job in the paint. Lillard, go figure. Nothing going in inside for Lillard, and she knocks down a three to give the Rebels the lead back.
Boy, did we pick a good one tonight or what?
This is one of the strangest, most bizarre games I've seen where whatever you think, it feels like a Ryan Johnson film. Whatever your expectations are, they've been subverted in every way. Not like Knives Out, The Last Jedi, one of those movies.
Yeah.
Just when you think you know what's going to happen. And getting the friendly bounce is Caroline Schlafer. Well, this is going to be one of those grind-em-out wins, Alex, I have a sense. Nothing's going to come easy for these two. Holman for three. She has struggled to get that three-point shot to fall. Izzy John, mid-range J is good. Izzy John doing wonders on the boards and making a couple defensive plays as well. Comes up with her first field goal. And Izzy John able to alter Schlafer, and that is a foul. Lillard had the rebound. Atuko got a little too grabby, and that is her fourth foul. Atuko getting a lot of minutes tonight, Alex, and now she's got 4. She's going to stay in there for now with 6:53 to go. Totino-Grace still with 2 fouls to give. Champlin Park out of fouls to give. Counce. Lillard in trouble. Gets out of it. Lillard fouled again. Let's see who that is on. Oh, that's a huge one, Alex. That's on Herzig. And now she has 4.
Yep.
Atuko with 4. Herzig with 4. And they're both coming out.
She's going to sit for a spell. You don't want to have her taken out of the equation just yet.
Counce for 3. That would have been big the way this game is going. Schlafer. Regal going inside, fake the 3, and I think Bates got the poke. Holman to Counce. Another fast break miss. Wow. Dengerud. She comes up short. Alex, what is going on?
I don't know. Let's see here. Okay, she gets that one.
If Counce didn't make that one, if she hadn't scored, I would have considered the rim cursed.
Little chance she was gonna miss that one.
Right. But we've seen just about everything. I think Lillard got in there just in time for the swat. Counce to Lillard. Big 3 if she makes it. Yes!
Now that one's going to be huge. Mary Dengerud wanted an explanation. What she thought was a missed call.
The Eagles will have 2 timeouts left. Alex, I suppose it fits. Nicole Lillard couldn't get anything on second chances, anything down low. It was brick, brick, brick. She's hit a couple of big 3s here when it looked like Totino-Grace was going to take control of this game.
Yeah, it's. I tell you, we've had so many twists and turns in this one just in the course of like 5 or 6 minutes that you really don't know what to think.
I feel like I've gone into the hex
But no question about it, that three down there by Lillard was huge. You know, especially the way this game is going now, a 6-point game. Certainly not insurmountable if you're Totino-Grace, but now with where we're at right now in this second half, you've got to make the most out of your opportunities if you're Totino-Grace, and you've got to take care of the rock too.
And here is the situation afflicting Totino-Grace. One of their top players, Hannah Herzig, has 4 fouls. Atuco also with 4. Totino-Grace, they haven't gone as deep into their bench as Champlin Park. 5-12 is a lot of time, but Totino-Grace, they're in a precarious position.
Well, head coach Leah Dengerud not ready to break out the proverbial panic button just yet, keeping Herzig on the bench. But you wonder how long she can allow her to stay on there.
That won't help. Bad pass and a steal. That is a kick ball, so Champlin Park will hang on to it. 4:55 to go in the second half. Alex, that's the second time Totino-Grace has been burned on an ATO play where they commit a turnover, and you can't afford that. And as I was saying earlier, how do you handle the ugly games? Here comes Herzig. Not every game is going to be smooth. You're not going to shoot 50-plus every night. But can you get the job done in adverse circumstances?
Well, I think with the 4:55 mark with Herzig coming back in, that's kind of roll the dice time if you're head coach Leah Dengerud. Oh, good steal by Leah Dengerud.
And Herzig draws the foul on Bates. That will be the 4th on Bates. More importantly, that will give Herzig 2 free throws with the clock stopped at 4:30. Totino-Grace in the bonus the rest of the way.
This is where you got to cash in from the charity stripe.
And that is something Totino-Grace hasn't done efficiently. Not as much as they'd like, anyway. A split at the line. That makes it a 5-point game. Totino-Grace still has a foul to give, so if they run into a foul and chase scenario here, they're going to have to go at it a couple of times. Lillard almost got the rebound. Totino-Grace, though, they get a stop. They have a chance to make this a 1-possession game. Izzy John going back in for Mariah Pates and Alex. Izzy John would get my Hustler Award if Champlin Park hangs on to this game. Only 2 points, but what she's done on defense and the boards, instrumental. Dengerud through traffic. Ooh, she draws the foul on John. Once again, that gives Totino-Grace a chance to score with the clock stopped.
Yeah, and this is where you got to get it done from the charity stripe.
Dengerud with 14 points.
14 hard-earned points at that.
I think every point has been hard-earned tonight. Only one 20-point game this season for Dengerud.
Just like that, back within a single possession.
4 minutes to go. Holman to John, finds a cutting. Natalie Warwa, and she will shoot 2. More importantly, that is the last foul to give for Totino-Grace.
Yep.
So Champlin Park will go to the line the rest of the way. And this back and forth affair continues. I know those shootouts that we sometimes see produce a lot of emotion and a lot of drama, but this game has been filled with tension.
Yep.
Again, not the prettiest game, but that adds to the unpredictability. Warra splits at the line. That does make it a 2-possession game. And you can't afford that miscue if you're Totino-Grace. Regal lost the handle and turns it over.
And how many times have we seen that tonight?
One thing's for sure, Alex, I'm never going to forget my first visit to Champlin Park. John is fouled, 1-1. But like we said before,
only the second on
happens sometimes in
Schlafer, so
games.
she's still in good shape.
And Izzy John, the 5'11 center. You have to like the resume of John, no matter where she goes. Track, basketball, NHS, FCA. Splits at the line. Champlin Park stuck at 50%. But the Rebels will keep the ball.
Herzig was trying to throw it out on a Champlin Park player, and she missed her target, it looks like.
We might have a
Now,
change in ruling.
Well, they are discussing it. And sure enough, they overturned their decision.
Now, if you're Totino-Grace, no sloppy mistakes here.
Much to the chagrin of Arthur Crutch.
Once again, Regal loses it on the handle. 2 turnovers on the Eagles. Regal is having a rough go of it over the last minute or so. And a chance for the Rebels to perhaps get the finishing blow. Well, they'll get free throws.
That's going to go on Leah Dengerud.
That will be her third, and Mikaelah Counce goes back to the line. Counce headed to Livingstone, the HBCU. The oldest sibling in her family. She's got a couple of younger ones, but it's going to be at least a decade before you hear their names in the basketball circuit or wherever they go.
These free throws loom large now with 3:07 left. 6-point game. She can make it 7 here. That puts Totino-Grace in a tough position.
She makes both. That puts her up to 13. Totino-Grace looking for the 3 ball. And a foul on Counce. That will be her 4th. Nope.
Wow.
That was on Dengerud, so that will be her 4th. Either way, someone's getting 4.
Back-to-back
At first,
foul.
I thought it was on Counce.
Yeah,
she might have pushed off Dengerud, but
I know, just like
instead
that.
it was the other way.
She just got tagged with her 4th, so.
One thing that's
I was just going to say.
go
I
ahead.
was just going to say the situation becoming more and more dire for Totino-Grace.
Well, one thing that strikes at me, Alex, is how similar this game is. We covered this matchup 2 years ago, and it was another slogfest. John with the block. Alex, I know they don't give you points for blocks, but Izzy John, that could be a huge one.
That was a big one right there by Izzy John.
She's come up with a few stops. That could be the backbreaker. Gets the rebound and the putback.
Do it on both ends of the floor.
Izzy John. What she has done is outstanding.
And that one may have sealed the deal for Champlin Park here tonight.
A block on the defensive end, a rebound, and a putback off of Holman's miss. She only has 5 points, Alex, but her influence in this game could not be duplicated. And what she has done for Champlin Park, that highlights the value of those hustle plays.
And I tell you what, the timing of it as well.
48-39. Like you said, that rebound putback, that whole sequence by John, she didn't have much of a role in the first half. I think the fouls had something to do with it. But how she is adjusted in the second half, we may not keep track of it as much because she's not lighting up the score sheet.
Right.
but the blocks, the rebounds, and that big play. If Champlin Park hangs on, Izzy John is a huge reason why.
Oh, absolutely.
Rebels looking for another steal. Trying to get that 10-second call. Dengerud through Holman, and that has summed up her night.
Yep, it really does.
16 points, but shot selection not in her favor. Double dribble on Counce. And the Champlin Park fans, a few rows in front of us, taking exception. Alex, I don't know what your tennis matches have been like, but when you're in a game like this and you have to sweat it out for Champlin Park if they hang on, how relieved are you to get out of here with a win?
Well, I tell you what, relieved. But I think even more important, if you're head coach Arthur Crutch and this Champlin Park team, it's a huge confidence builder for them, Mike. They've been, again, they started this year with a lot of adversity, as you were talking about at the top of our broadcast tonight. And this one here, if they get things turned around and get on a winning streak, they may very well point to this game as the start of it.
Champlin Park calls timeout, 1:48 to go, and it's looking more and more like they'll have the win locked up. And again, they probably would like to see a few more buckets go in. Holman, for example, couldn't hit her threes tonight. Lillard couldn't hit anything inside, but let's not forget the 2 threes she hit to turn the tide in Champlin Park's favor. I think it's one of those confidence builders, like you said, because, yeah, the game, we stunk for most of it, but we found a way to win.
Yep.
That will go a long way because every team, no matter where they are, Hopkins will deal with this, Minnetonka will deal with this.
Yep.
Becker will deal with this at some point. How do you respond when the circumstances don't bend in your favor? Champlin Park, it wasn't easy, but every time Totino-Grace looked like they were going to take control, the Rebels found an answer.
Well, and I think you see the defensive style of Champlin Park, how they get into those passing lanes, how they disrupt the half-court offense. You see those techniques, that strategy paying dividends, and it sure has tonight.
9-point game, and Champlin Park will be in the double bonus if Totino-Grace fouls them. Counce going for the touchdown pass, does hook up with Bates. Almost lost it there. Rebels, they're going to eat up time. No shot clock yet, not for a couple more years. John to Bates for the silencer. And Champlin Park is going to get out of here with a win. Hannah Herzig doing what she can to keep her team in it. And remember, Totino-Grace, it's far from over. But the Rebels score in transition. Ava Holman up to 11.
And all those layups and second chance points now are suddenly going in for the Rebels.
And there probably are a few parents and maybe the players themselves that are thinking, we couldn't have done this earlier?
Yeah.
It took us this long to make a layup? Again, though, it's a lot harder than it looks up here. It's easy when Alex and I are talking for a living.
Yep.
It's harder.
Hannah Herzig now trying to...
Well, she drew the foul. And Totino-Grace, again, they're still going to be a force. Both the Eagles and the Hail Murray Pioneers have dealt with some setbacks here as of late.
In the
but
breakdown,
they've got a big game. Go ahead.
In the breakdown, look, it's that Hannah Herzig's one of her favorite things about basketball is going out to eat after games and Saturday practices.
And I'm sure they'll decompress.
That kind of sounds like a good idea.
I'm sure they'll need it. And you know what? Win or lose, it's good to decompress like that. Because we talk about the game, but there's more to it than that. Herzig does make both free throws. So she'll keep her double-digit streak alive. She's up to 12, and Champlin Park, they don't need to. Well, they turn it over. Regal's going to catch up to it. Dengerud with the finish. 40 seconds, 7-point game. So Totino-Grace trying to make a fight of it. Champlin Park, they're going to hang on to it. They don't need to shoot the ball. Wait for the foul. And now the foul comes with 21.2.
I think that'll be it for Hannah Herzig.
Nope, that's Dengerud, so she'll finish with 18 points. A hard-earned 18 points. I think Dengerud would have liked a more efficient night for her, but again, she's got a big game on Tuesday coming up, so Champlin Park, or I should say Totino-Grace, Champlin Park can't hang their heads either, but Totino-Grace, they've got to regroup because that game on Tuesday, big section implications.
Hard to believe we're saying that December, isn't it?
When you only play each other once.
Yeah, that's true.
Hannah Herzig with a strong close to this one, but it won't be enough. Time will run out. Totino-Grace won't get that one. It wouldn't have mattered anyway. 53-47 the final. Alex, it wasn't pretty, but Champlin Park found a way to get it done in the second half, and Izzy John played a big part in that.
Well, I tell you what, I think you want to come back and cover more Northwest Suburban Conference games after this. No, I just like, the way, we saw Champlin Park get off to a good start in the second half. Then they went on an incredible dry spell, but when they needed it most, they found the spark. They got layups, they got finishes, and that's what won them the ball game. And, of course, we saw what their defense can do as well.
Well, before we wrap things up, we've got a birthday salute for Arthur Crutch. We'll try to get a word with a couple of the Champlin Park players before we wrap it up. This is high school girls basketball. Joining me are Nicole Lillard and Izzy John. Nicole, we'll start with you because this is probably one of the strangest games you might have played. You couldn't buy a bucket inside, and yet you hit 2 3-pointers to give Champlin Park the lead after Totino-Grace looked like they were going to take control. Sometimes it works out that way, but when you win an ugly game like this, what does that do for your confidence?
Honestly, it just gives us the boost we need to keep going with these wins for the rest of the season. Like, we're going to keep doing great. That's basically it.
How big were those 2 threes? How did you feel? Because you're probably frustrated that, what do I got to do to get a layup? Then you knock down 2 threes. I'm guessing you felt the entire roller coaster of emotions tonight.
Yeah, it felt great. Like, basically, you just feel everything just paused when that shot went in the air for that last 3. And it going in was just great for me, especially since it gave us the lead.
And one young woman who helped you keep that lead was Izzy John. Izzy, in the breakdown, you noted that you wear a size 14 shoe. I'd say your defensive impact tonight was at 14 or higher. You got a bunch of blocks. I think the key sequence, you got a block, then got a putback on the other end late in the game. How did you turn things up defensively in the second half?
I mean, I think we kind of won this game in spurts of energy, and so just the defense kind of won us the game, keeping, when shots aren't falling, defense is something you can control, and I think that was really important for us winning this game.
What did you change in your approach? Because in the first half, your impact was limited. In the second half, you only got 5 points, but it felt like you were responsible for a lot more, and more importantly, you were responsible for preventing a lot of points on the Totino-Grace end.
Mm-hmm. I mean, for myself personally, I felt like the first half I was pretty dormant, and so really needing to reverse that and be intentional about everything that I'm doing, and I knew I needed to pick it up. So.
And tell me, how do you stay composed in a game like this where it was ugly? Second chance points, neither side could hit those. Layups, three-pointers. I don't think anyone knew for sure, are we going to get a basket out of this or not? But you held firm and picked up your second straight win of the year. How do you stay calm under that kind of pressure?
I think I'm going to bring it back to defense. Defense is, again, what we could control during the game. And so with all the craziness and everything going on, it's just we had to go back to having that as a solid base.
And for the two of you, what would you make of this season so far? You've got a quick group of guards, yourself among them, Nicole. It's been a slow start, but now you've got 2 wins, one against Armstrong, one against a contender in 3A. How do you think that could light a spark for this Champlin Park team?
I mean, it just makes us realize that defensively, that's really where we're at. And if we keep the intensity up and, keep the spurts high like we did in this game, we'll just keep winning and we'll probably win sections.
Could you repeat the question? I'm sorry.
Well, just how do you think these back-to-back wins after a slow start, how can that energize this team?
I think we're on our spurt now, and so we just need to keep rolling with that. It was kind of rough towards the start, but we've realized the things that we need to do to get wins and just continuing to do that and build on what we have currently.
And if nothing else, we learned tonight that if all else fails, just let Izzy John get some rebounds or some blocks, and she'll take care of it down low. Before we go, you want to say hi to anybody?
Oh, hey, Mom, hey, Dad, brother, everyone else, family. That's all.
I'll have to give a shout out to the fam as well. Hello, everyone at home.
Well, they had to earn every point tonight, but they came away with a 53-47 win. Congrats on the effort, and I often say the hallmark of a contender is how you win the ugly games. So if nothing else, you can say, yeah, not everything worked our way tonight, but we still found a way to get it done. So I think you're going to take that with you as the season moves along. Congrats again, and enjoy the holiday break before you get back out there in tournament play.
Thank you. You too.
Thank you.
Izzy John and Nicole Lillard. And that will wrap up our coverage here from Champlin Park High School. For Alex Nagel and the rest of our crew, I'm Mike Peden. Thanks for watching.